Welcome, everybody, to the Ogden Way podcast, the place where we tell Ogden stories by telling the stories of Ogden's people. And today we have Isaiah Salazar, a close friend of mine, a local businessman, and an absolute community connector with us today. Isaiah, welcome.
How are you?
Doing good. How are you?
Yeah, it's awesome to be here.
No, I appreciate you coming, man. You're somebody that I always love spending time with. Every time I'm with you, the energy that you give me is always positive, and I leave my time with you feeling better than I felt before.
Thank you. That means a lot. I think that's our goal in life. It should be somewhat to that effect. Is when you connect with people, leave that impression. And so I'm happy to hear that. And the same. I think it's mutual, because when I first met you, it was kind of the same thing. I didn't know who you were at first, and then they introduced you, and I was like caught off guard. I was like, dude, I was just talking to the mayor, like I didn't even know I was talking to you, but you were so down to earth that I didn't even know you were the mayor at that point. And when they introduced you and you went up there, I told my wife, I was just talking to the mayor. And I didn't even know.
You're like, whoops, what did I say?
I'm kind of dumb because I didn't know, I was talking to the mayor, but I think it was when you would first just got elected into office. And so that was cool, because I know I shared with my wife for the next few days. I was like, can you believe that I was just hanging out with the mayor and we just shook hands, and, big old guy. And I just didn't know. And it was just kind of cool that you're so approachable. And I hope everybody feels that with you. And I don't know if that happens.
I hope so too, yeah.
But to me, that was my experience. Is it was kind of we put our guards down, and it's like a bromance.
Oh, bromance. Let's work on that. No,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Actually, thanks for saying all of that. We should have you on the show more often, just to help my brand. No. That's actually the thing that I love so much about the job, is just being around so many good people. Mm-hmm. Because Ogden's just filled with people that love the city and love the town, and they get real energized around doing hard work.
They get excited about Ogden.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
You and me both.
Yeah. And I think if you're going to live here, you should be excited about Ogden.
I know, but a lot of people, I think, in the world, not in Ogden, when they think about doing hard work, serving and giving, and I think a lot of people have a negative view of that. But here, it actually really inspires us. It gives us more energy when we give that kind of energy, and that's what I feel from you, and I hope you feel from me.
Yeah,
and I hope that others do too, because that's my favorite part about this job. Is everywhere I go, people that talk with me, whether they know I'm the mayor or not, they give me that kind of an energy, and then it really lifts my spirit, and I give more back, and then they give more back to me, and we've talked about this through the Ogden Way. That's what we call the servant cycle. It's this virtuous cycle of energy, of giving and receiving, right?
Yep.
And it really gets back to the notion that I was raised under with my mom and my dad, that said the most selfish thing you can do is to serve others selflessly.
That's awesome.
And I see you doing that so much, Isaiah.
Yeah.
So much. And to me, that's why you embody the Ogden Way.
Yeah. And okay, you say that, but to me, I feel like there's even more to do. I don't know if that makes sense. Because I hear you say that, but then I have people around me that I surround myself with, and I always share with them. It's like, man, I wish I could do something more.
Right?
Like more. Yeah. And you just sit there and you not struggle with it, but you want to think about it. Is it Adrian that she really put it in the best way possible?
Adrian Andrews?
Yeah, she's the one that came up with the parking lot. So when you have a thought, you put it in the parking lot, because at the parking lot, you're gonna go back to that parking lot, and you're gonna address that. So that's one of those things that like I said, I wish I could do more. What else can I do? Mm-hmm. And you have to be careful, because you have to balance family with your work, with community service, and so there is a fine line that you kind of have to, be careful with.
And we all struggle with it from time to time. My wife's always like, look, don't even think about work-life balance.
You got one too? I got one.
Yeah, I got one. Is yours an absolute pistol, that total throat puncher like mine?
I can't do nothing. I always tell her, I can never do nothing. And she goes, what? What do you mean? I was like, I can never do nothing, because I always get yelled at for something.
I think what she meant to say is, I can never do nothing right.
Okay, I left that part out.
Okay, no, I'm joking.
Give me the benefit of the doubt, all right?
You can see how we get along.
No, I'm just kidding.
So the thing about your your service in Ogden that I always am drawn to is that I see the work that you put in your business and for your family. I know how hard you work. I know about the mindset that you have around investing in yourself and investing in your business. You do that business with your family. I love the mindset you have of like grit and resilience of like, we are going to be self-made. That's very much an Ogden streak. But then when I see you not at work, now I know why you're struggling. What could I do more of?
Mm-hmm.
Because being a connector means helping people.
Yeah, connecting.
And I have a lot of meetings in this job where people are struggling to do the same thing. And one of the most powerful opportunities for my position is to know so many things happening in the city.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked Cindy, my chief of staff, to help me keep track of those. And she makes those connections too,
Mm-hmm.
because we often run into somebody who's looking to help.
Yeah.
And they want to help in a certain way. And we're like, we know someone that needs that exact thing.
Mm-hmm.
And we do it all day, every day. We're connecting.
And just connecting people.
Right?
Yep.
And I don't even know if
You call it
know
connecting, I call it networking.
Sure.
Yeah.
But you're networking by helping others.
By helping others. And that should be the objective here is to help someone, because you could have that connection which has that answer, but if you never open your mouth
Mm-hmm.
and express that verbally, that person will never be helped.
Never be helped. They'll never know.
And I believe this happened with, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Cindy was there too. We made a connection with a waiter that went through, and I don't even know how we got on that topic, but he gave us a story of how, he ran into some problems. He ran into a situation where he needed help. And he was trying to fix that.
Yeah.
He was trying to make it better. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden we all started like, well, I know somebody that can do it. And then Cindy jumped in, and then you jumped in. Hey, listen, if you really want help, here's my number.
Yeah.
Here's my contact. Or here's a person that I want you to get contacted with, and they're going to be able to help you. The smile on that kid's face from ear to ear, and that just brings us back to what you're just saying, connection.
Right.
We seen a problem, not really a problem. It was an issue
Mm-hmm.
that Cindy thought, I thought, you thought we could help this kid out. Even my son was there.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Well, Dad, if he needs," I'm like, "Yeah, well, let's see what they can do for him first." But I seen the expression on this young man's face, and just really the sincerity of his confession. Really, it sounded like a confession, but he was just talking to us like if he knew us, and we're like,
I know. He's like,
caught us off guard. I was really in the middle of eating my eggs.
Right.
I don't want to hear all that. No, I'm just kidding.
That's a common mindset in America. We don't slow down enough to listen to each other.
Yeah.
And this young man, so we're sitting there eating breakfast, and he basically was like, I have a misgiving in my life and in my past, and it's
Mhm.
keeping me from serving my nation. I want to serve my country.
That's what it was.
Right?
Yes.
And we're like, well, tell us more. And he told us what
Yeah.
he felt comfortable sharing.
Yeah.
And we're like, and now it's a barrier to him. And he's turning over a new leaf in life. And he's like, I've never been happier or healthier, etc. And it's like, wow, you're trying to make a big step. You're trying to level up in life.
Mm-hmm.
And we said, I think it's possible we could help.
Yeah.
And I think you were joking. You're like, I know the mayor. He's like, you do? And
He's right here.
yeah. And but what we also told him was, look, we're not going to help you if you're not going to help yourself first. And, and we clearly got the sense that he was doing everything he could for himself, but there were certain things that he just couldn't overcome on his own.
Yeah.
And that is such a great example. I'm glad you brought it up.
Mm-hmm.
Of the Ogden Way, because
connections. Yeah, connecting and
right.
Yep.
You have to do the work.
But I think it's about it all boils down to caring. You can't be a human. I don't think so, anyways, without caring about people. And if you are a human and you don't care about people, then that's tough to live life like that. Because I think caring about people really elevates your life. Because it takes you to a place where it's foreign to you. Because if you help someone, and the feeling that you get from that, if you've never done it, it's foreign, but it feels so awesome.
Right?
It feels so awesome. Yeah.
So the feeling that you just mentioned is, people are like, "How do you like your job? Are you having fun?" I'm like, "No, I'm not having fun. There's nothing fun about my job at all."
You know what I do for a living? I'm the mayor. It is not fun.
But I had a career in wildlife,
Uh-huh.
like wrestling animals and tranquilizer crews and in the mountains, sleeping on a picnic table for an entire summer straight.
And getting paid well.
Not at all.
Oh.
But that was fun, right?
I threw your name out at, we were eating breakfast at Scramble here on 12th Street.
Mm.
The young lady just graduated and she's looking for a job in the, I was like, hey,
Oh, yeah,
I
there
might
you go.
have
That's another
might have
example.
a connection
See,
for
you're
you.
constantly doing it. But
Oh, yeah.
my point about fun is, no, my job's not fun. It's actually even better. It's fulfilling.
Mm.
And so I have learned through life that I'm not seeking fun in the things I do often. I still have fun. I go fishing and
Yeah.
hang out with my buddies and stuff some. But more often than not, especially in this job, I don't find myself having fun. I find myself finding fulfillment.
Mm.
And the feeling is so different. And it's like this Cindy and I talk about, it's like intoxicating when the fulfillment happens when
feeling.
you help someone,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, the virtuous cycle of energy and giving, the servant cycle, right?
So does it feel that good that you could work for free?
Oh, 100%.
No, you're not.
I just couldn't live on this,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
No,
but now you hit it right on the head. It's so it's awesome. It's just awesome. Now, I also see, and I think we're in that day and age of social media, and you see all these things. It's like you see these kids filming, and I look at this and I kind of look at myself because my wife always reminds me too. Is they'll be filming, okay, and they'll film this bum, okay, and they're offering them money or whatever it is, you know, and he'll take it, and the bum goes, "What do you want me to do? Like I'm I have nothing, but you're filming me because you want to feed your ego
for your
brand,
for your
brand, for
views, your clicks."
And so she brought something the other day because she's my witness. I will bless people. I call it the word bless. I will bless people just spontaneous. Dude, here you go. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not filming it. I'm not. Sometimes she says, "Yeah, but why do you bring it up sometimes, or that you do that?" I'm like, "You're right. If I'm gonna do it, I shouldn't just do it. Just do it to do it."
Mm-hmm.
And so I get caught. You know, I guess that's why we have a wife. So
That's right.
Keep us.
Remember, you can't do nothing right.
You can't do it right.
You can't do nothing right every time. How's that? Sometimes we do wrong, right?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Not very often.
Well, maybe for you.
Whoa. Okay. Well.
Yeah. Read social media.
I always tell
Read
her-
social media. I do stuff wrong all the time.
Hey.
I want to give you a minute to tell the community the work that you do, because you're the kind of person that I love to support. Like when I needed my windows tinted, I immediately reach out to you, right? When I need, maybe if I want a truck accessory, you're going to be the guy.
Mm-hmm.
And you also own a barbershop,
Mm-hmm.
Empire Barbershop, and we'll get to that in a minute. But
Yeah.
why don't you share with us like the work that you do, the businesses you own?
Yeah.
And
So my wife and I own Rhino Linings, Ogden, North Davis. Okay, we're located 1575 West, 2550 South. When we purchased this business, it was. Let's clarify this. So, I think this should be on everybody's list. When you make a plan A. Don't make a plan B, because what happens is if you make a plan B, you've got a backup plan, and you're okay with failing. Not with us. It was plan A. We didn't plan anything other than plan A, and we just said we're going to go. And that's what we've done for 15, 16 months now. That's what we've done. We just rubber hit the road, and we're just going. And we bought the company with 2 divisions, which was Rhino Linings, which is a spray and bed liner, makes your bed more durable, protects it from the elements. But then we also had truck accessories,
mm-hmm.
which includes bed covers, and then we've actually expanded that now. So now we have truck accessories, but we do everything in truck accessories. Like if you can think it, we can do it, or we can get it. So we're talking from off-road to lifting your truck, We added PPF, which is paint protection film, for your vehicle. When you buy a new car, you can protect it. We do tint. We do tint vehicles, tint recreational. We do tint commercial. We do details, exterior, interior, and then we do minor mechanic work, which is your brakes, struts, shocks, anything minor we can fix, oil changes. So we've expanded that business into 7 different divisions now. So we like to classify ourselves as the one-stop shop. The only thing we don't do is rims and tires, and you and I talked about that. Yep. The margins aren't there. We would love to, but we know our lane. We're going to stay in our lane for right now. And she tells me too, because I always have ideas. I wake up in the middle of the morning, I got an idea. Yep. I've surrounded myself with some very, very good people that keep me grounded, because I like to share my ideas, and I get positive feedback, but I also get feedback that is very genuine, because they're looking out for me.
It's candid.
Very candid. And they're saying, Isaiah, I'm going to play the devil's advocate here. And then they give me a list that I did not think about. All I had was an idea. I didn't think about all the other stuff. Yeah. And so I've got very good friends, I don't want to mention, because then I'm going to forget somebody, but I have surrounded myself with some very, very good people that are very smart businessmen. And they keep me grounded. And so when I have an idea, I take it to them, and I have to take it to the family now because I'm grounded. So we have a family board now, which is my wife, my daughter Alyssa, my son Isaiah, and my son Eli. So when Dad has an idea, I got to present it to the board, and then the board decides whether I'm going to do it or not. Sometimes that works, sometimes that doesn't, because I still do it. But that's beside the point. But in addition to all that, we're adding another part to that puzzle at Rhino Linings, because now we have the rest of that building, which has 3 bays in it. We're bringing a small mechanic shop catered to the working individual. What that means is you're going to come into a room kind of like this, really, really nice, homey atmosphere. We have a place where you can actually work on your laptop, and it's very, I use the word swanky. I don't know if we can use that word anymore. I don't know. It's nice. Like when people go in there, they don't want to sit down on anything because like it's too nice, but we're like, no, this is your waiting room. This is where you're going to wait, and we're going to do your work for you. We're going to get your oil change done. We're going to do your tint, whatever it is. And so we're excited about that part. Hopefully we'll launch that here soon. But that's the Rhino Lining side, which keeps us very busy. And I think Cindy, I love you, Cindy, but I've stood her up a couple of times because we've just been so busy. And I've got people that work for us, but sometimes that workload is so much that I got to get in there and work too.
That's why you've got dirty pants.
I got dirty. I'm dirty.
This is a working man.
This is. I'd like to say that I'm not, but I am a working man. I'll get in there. I weld if I have to weld something. If I have to.
So, Isaiah, there's nothing to be embarrassed or ashamed of. That's the most admirable and most respectable thing that there is someone that works, that knows to work, wants to work, loves to work.
I love it.
Loves the grind.
But we go back to, I love the work because the gratification when I see the customer's face and how they're like, thank you so much. This looks so awesome. And it's like, it was a lot of work, and I don't think you even know what went into it.
Right.
But again, we go back to their expressions and how they express themselves to us, their gratitude of how, we made their vehicle look or whatever the case may be. And that alone, again, we come back to.
All right. So since I've been in your shop, I can speak from personal experience. So you can think of your business as selling products, because you're also selling a service of installing those products, providing for them. The hardest thing too with some of those accessories is making sure they all fit together, because some of them are compatible with others and are not. But now it makes more sense to me why you find so much joy in your business and in your work. It's not just selling things, it's serving people. And I know how much you love the grind. And I love that advice you gave, have a plan A but not a plan B. You basically said we're leaping. We are relying solely on ourselves and on each other, right?
Yep.
In order to succeed, not just succeed, but to eat, to
everything.
Right. Yeah. Everything.
Yeah, we're all in.
The human spirit that comes with that is I have to figure this out.
Yep.
We have to do it together or else. And that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Jump, but just figure it.
And there's some
make
pressure you put on yourself when that happens. I mean, but you do it to yourself. Now, in saying that, you have to be prepared, because when you put that kind of pressure on your shoulders, that's a lot.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think it's worth it. But I say this too: be prepared, because I hear a lot of people. I want to go on my own and do this. Be careful what you wish for, okay? Because I know how much work it is, and I always tell people, you say it tongue in cheek, but think about everything else. There's sacrifices. She knows I've sacrificed, not coming home at 5 o'clock because we close at 5. So I've sacrificed that, and so we stay till 7, 8. I worked on the weekends, Saturday, Sunday.
Honestly, if you're not feeling that way, you're not reaching or achieving your true best, your best self. If you're not feeling that discomfort, that stretch, that pain.
Oh yeah, that's very, very good. Yeah,
right?
Yeah, I
so,
like that.
Like, as the mayor, I'm not an entrepreneur, obviously, but a lot of people are like, "Oh man, I wish I was the mayor." And I'm like, "Do you?
Do you really?
Do you?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I do. Obviously, I love the work. This is the most I've ever enjoyed my career ever.
That is awesome.
But do you realize what pain comes with it? Right?
Because you carry a lot of that with you.
Tons of it.
I mean, whatever businesses or whatever Ogden business there is, for you to tell me that there's days that you don't go home with it, that'd be a lie.
Because I'm human.
Because you're human, and you go home and it's like, I can only imagine what you go, because I go home with some stuff too, but you got a whole city.
Yeah.
Like, we're talking about a whole city. Now, you do have people that work for you and do different, but you're still, at the end of the day, if something goes wrong, who are they going to come to? Not them. They're going to call you.
Actually, you'd be surprised all the things I get blamed for. I mean, people have challenges in their just general life or their daily life, and it's
so
like,
I can't even imagine.
It's my fault.
And people tell you, I'd love to be there. Do you?
It's like someone didn't pick up my garbage. The mayor did not pick up my garbage. I'm like, well, did you put it out in the curb? You know what I mean? So there's
First question.
Yeah. So what's your role in this? And I love this about you, Isaiah. You're all about, like, it's my grind, it's my responsibility, and you teach it to your family and your kids. I see it.
My kids are.
And you surround yourself with people like that too. You introduced me to Jeremy. He's a businessman with Murphy
that
Doors.
guy's a beast.
Jeremy Barker's a dog, right?
He's a beast.
He's a dog, and he's built an incredibly successful company, and he's so smart and never stops. Learned so many lessons. He's the kind of guy that shares with you. Hold on, let me be the devil's advocate.
He'll tell you. I think I told you. Well, you were there when he. I'm not going to say what he called me, but he called me a certain. and he goes, "Don't be that." He goes, "Go for it."
Yeah.
Why are you even doubting yourself?
And
I thought to myself, like, you're right.
That is kindness, actually.
And that's
it may
a
not
friend
feel
too.
like it in the moment, but he's sharing years of experience with you.
Mm-hmm.
He's also sharing what he sees that you're not. And it wouldn't be kind. It wouldn't be a good friend if he let you go on without that advice.
Yeah.
What if you didn't take that leap because he didn't say anything because he was being kind?
Exactly.
No, being kind isn't avoiding what we know a good friend should do. Right?
Yep, exactly.
Kindness means saying, Isaiah, I love you, brother.
But here's the deal.
But here's what you need to check yourself.
We didn't even go for that. We just went there just to visit.
I know.
And I got hammered on.
Right. But I got my windows tinted. I met a new friend.
Yeah,
Since then, I don't know if you know this, but I've actually reached out to him a number of times on a number of questions that I've had.
Oh, nice.
And he's been a really good sounding board.
Good.
He reflects back, and I hope I've reflected back for him too.
Yeah, good.
That's the mutual.
When I think that was one of those things where you were having an issue with a certain project, and I was like, hey, let's go talk to Jeremy.
Right.
You got to meet this guy because he knows people.
Actually, because of meeting with Jeremy Barker, that was the beginning of a complete strategic planning framework for Ogden City, which was really the nexus of the Ogden Way as a full framework for the entire community. Did you know that?
That's awesome.
I've actually never told that to Jeremy. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
So because of that day that you introduced me to him, the conversation that we had and conversations that followed was when I brought in a third party. We went through a strategic alignment internally, ended with mission statement, core values, things like that. alignment across departments, a mission that aligns with a vision for our broader city,
That is so
and
cool.
then the framework of the Ogden Way that aligns nonprofits and community members, leaders, businesses, etc. Which is the step we're on now.
Yeah. Yeah.
All with
You've
a
taken
measurable
some major
dashboard.
steps on
Those
that,
are
huh?
major steps.
Yeah.
It's incremental still.
Yeah, but still, at
Right.
least it's progressing. We talked about at the beginning. Is any progress is good progress.
Progress, not
I'm
perfection.
curious.
Yeah.
What was it about that day, that conversation? Is it just something that he said, or something that or just something in your mind, listening to him? What happened?
I don't know. We were in his boardroom and he was showing me
The war room.
Remember, he's the
war room.
The war room. Yeah, and he's
Yep.
got it's Murphy door. They got those doors. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But he was telling me about the strategic process that they were going through, and remember, you were introducing me to him because there was an issue that I was needing help with, and you
Mhm.
thought he could help.
Yep.
And really, there's solving the problem before you, and then there's solving the problem and the problems and the culture and the structure and the mechanisms and processes internally, etc., that led to that one problem.
Mm-hmm.
And so you've got to address the one problem,
Mm-hmm.
but you always want to get to the root of it. And the root of it is more of a structural thing around how we operate here and how we don't, right?
Exactly.
And so,
What aren't we doing?
yeah, and what are we doing and what aren't we doing? And
What should we
what
be
should
doing?
we be doing? Exactly. But often in real life, especially in this job where there's so much pressure and so many hours,
So many
many
moving
demands,
components.
right? So much conflict that you get wrapped around the axle of the tyranny of the urgent right now, and you never have a chance to back up and look at the bigger picture.
Mm.
And so since that time,
Mm-hmm.
I've taken a real structural approach of internal and external leadership at the city. I'm the mayor. I'm responsible for both ultimately,
Uh-huh.
but I have a CAO who now has a really what we call down and in focus, an internal leadership, executive level leadership, internal. And I'm going toward the external leadership in the community. And Mara Brown, my CAO,
Mm-hmm.
handles the mission of the organization
Nice.
in the context of delivering on the vision for our community. I lead in the community to find out what they need to communicate what we do and connect with her on the deliverance of that,
Mm-hmm.
but also with nonprofits and partners and businesses and community members that can help surround us at the city to deliver on that vision. And so these were significant realizations
so
after
awesome.
meeting Jeremy.
Yeah, that's so cool. Again, but connections,
That's the
networking.
value of
If we would have
connections.
never done that, like, would you be where you're at today? But
No.
I'm a big, strong believer in things happen for a reason. There was, and I shared this with very close friends of mine. It's like, because they're like, oh, you know the mayor. It's like, listen, I don't know why or why we crossed paths about a year ago. Maybe a little bit longer, but I always tell people it's been a blessing because this guy is so down to earth, and the short time that we've known each other, we've always just kind of like just hit it off, like who would have ever thought? But I always tell people, I was like, dude, I don't even know, I'm blessed.
That's how I feel. And
I'm just so blessed to have very good people around me that I can call. I think you and I have texted a couple of times, and it just made me feel good. It's like I could just share something with someone and not feel we listen and we don't judge. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
We listen and we don't judge.
So what you're explaining, actually, it is a blessing. It's not just the Ogden way. It's God's way. I know that you're a man of faith.
Yeah.
But all of these things that we talked about, the values that we espouse, the things of grit and determination and self-reliance and looking out for each other, supporting and providing for and loving your family, right?
Mm-hmm.
Also, when you see someone in need, you help. We don't do it because we need self-edification. It's not for our own ego. It's for the sake of
We've been
giving,
blessed to
serving.
bless.
Absolutely. It's for the sake of service, period.
Mm-hmm.
All of those values and the things that we do, plus the vision and the mission, plus the aligning ourselves internally, externally, etc. That's all what we call the Ogden way.
The Ogden way.
Right? And in a lot of ways, that's also God's way.
Mm-hmm.
In a lot of the ways, that's the right way.
The right way.
However
Mm-hmm.
you live, whatever you believe and espouse, that's the way, right?
Mm-hmm.
And these are values that we can all be better for.
Exactly.
Not just a better city, not just a better mayor, right? A better mankind.
Yeah, exactly. And
So-
I'd like to say and add on to piggyback to that is I'm not perfect. by any means.
I agree.
Well, not so fast.
Hey.
You could have waited a couple more minutes, just a little bit longer. But I always feel like there's room to grow, and I make mistakes, and sometimes I say the wrong thing. I'd like to think it's not intentional, because sometimes I just start talking, and sometimes I'm like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that. This is not the right time, right place. But I think as long as you recognize that, and your conscience, you still have a conscience that keeps you in check. That's a good thing.
Right.
That's a good thing. So I'd like to clarify that I'm not perfect by any means.
Oh, I know that. We all know.
It's
progress, not perfection. But
I know. But
okay, what you just said is what I call growth mindset. When we talk about the Ogden Way, we really focus on different things, internal versus external, etc. Here at the city, we actually talk a lot about the growth mindset, because the idea is that we're never done.
Never.
We're never at our best. We could always be better.
Always.
And so we always want to strive to be better. And that sometimes requires the discomfort we talked about earlier. Mm-hmm. I mean, it requires it, actually. But also, you know what else it requires? Is it requires grace for each other. Because when you make a mistake, if I really focus on just your mistake, look at all of the beauty of this man that I'm missing because of
Thank you.
that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean...
yeah. Third party?
Yeah, I'm not talking about your moneymaker. I'm not talking about your moneymaker right now. But
I'm just fishing for a compliment, man.
I know, man. You're not going to get it from me, bro.
I know.
It's not coming from me.
I know, but I'm working on it.
Sorry, Melissa's over here. She got you.
No.
But my point being, the world and in what we try to do to each other, we always focus on the one misgiving or the mistake or the flaw.
Small business owners have that mindset. I'm going to tell you why. McDonald's can mess up your order one time. You'll keep going back. Small business owners mess up your order one time, we're done. You'll never come back to us ever again. And I think about that, and I'm like, do you understand what you're saying? Like, when a person says that to me, and it just recently happened to us. Do you understand what you're saying? Is we only messed up once and we try to make it right.
Oh, yeah.
But McDonald's messes up your order and you're okay with that. You're going to go back tomorrow morning and get another sausage McMuffin. Why? We don't know. Because they're a big chain.
Do you know what I think?
Oh, go ahead. I'm curious.
I don't know if you want to know. But
No. I know you're going to tell me anyway, so go.
I love you, brother. So
sorry, I keep forgetting we're supposed to be serious. Okay.
It's okay. I don't even think the cameras have started yet, so we're good.
Oh, okay. We're good.
In one instance, McDonald's messed up your order.
Yeah.
In the other instance, Isaiah Salazar messed up your order. And so I don't have anybody to blame at McDonald's as a
corporation.
It's a corporation.
Okay,
it's big. It's nameless and it's faceless.
All right.
Whereas Rhino Linings
has a
it's
face.
Isaiah. He's standing here.
Yep.
You know.
That makes sense.
And so but it's also way more hurtful that way.
So much. I mean,
you would think that would be less.
Yeah. And it hurts. I honestly,
right.
Because we right away we go out of our way. Okay,
make it right.
Yeah, exactly. Not because we messed up. Okay, we made an error, but we're willing to fix it. We're willing to make it right. Whatever we need to do, because I believe as a small business owner, it's tough.
It's tough. I bet.
It's tough, and we rely on people coming, walking through our doors, and I think the only way we can keep them is by customer service. We try to offer the best customer service we can. We'll bend over backwards, whatever we need to do to make it right, and we compete against online Amazon, online this, online that, and we match that price. We'll even install it for that price, but I think we try to go above and beyond that. And I think that's what sets us apart from a lot of these places out. I'm not going to, whatever. People always say, well, you got competition. I'm my own competition.
Bingo.
I'm my own competition. I don't look at anybody. When we talk about these barbershops, well, you got this barbershop. Doesn't matter to me. We're focused on our barbershops. We're not focused on anybody else's. We're not going to badmouth anybody else either. And I'd like to add to that, because we're a family-owned business. So my son actually owns the Empire Barbershop North Ogden and the Empire downtown, which you need to come golfing. It's open.
Okay. So I feel like you've been sitting in my leadership team meetings because we have all these same discussions.
Yeah, exactly.
But getting back to
but I enjoy that. I enjoy listening to other people's perspectives and what the city's going through. A lot of people don't understand what the city is growing.
Yes, it's hard.
And I'd like to add that if you live here in Ogden, get off your butts and be a part of Ogden. I don't know what you can do, but whatever you can contribute it.
Well, start by taking ownership and accountability on your own
Taking out the garbage. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
There's a lot of people who just blame other people for stuff.
It's so easy.
And it's like,
it's easy. It's easier.
That's a nice, easy
If
escape,
I just blame you, then I'm done.
Yeah.
Off me.
So a lot of people are frustrated with me because I'm an elected official or a politician, and I'm certainly affected, and I have opinions around politics around me and at the national level, but I'm not really affected by the outcome because I have a mindset of like, whatever the outcome is, we are going to drive ourselves towards success, period. No matter what.
No matter what.
No matter who wins, I'm going to find some way to win for our community. And so that's just a mindset for, I call it a winning mindset or whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
It's a growth mindset. We need as much of that as possible in this country right now. And if there's anywhere we can control it
more
or
than ever
influence it, it's here in Ogden.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
why we talk about the Ogden Way and we have these conversations. Mindset's everything. I just had to talk with my daughter last night. I'm like, remember, kiddo, we can't control what other people do. We can only control how we respond. We can only control how we think. Think about your thinking. That's what Jody Brown shared with us on another episode. Think about your thinking, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Those things are hugely important for success.
Huge.
And I just commend you, Isaiah, for all the success you've had in life. I know it hasn't been easy.
Yeah.
I know it hasn't. You've been through things you haven't mentioned here that I know that you've been through too, that were really, really hard on you.
Yeah.
And you didn't feel sorry for yourself. Maybe you did for a little while, but someone shook yourself out of it, or you shook yourself out, you know?
Yeah.
And you just kept getting up. You kept on grinding, but you never stopped loving. You never stopped giving. Never stopped serving.
Yeah.
And here you are.
Yeah.
You know,
going strong.
A beautiful family.
Yeah.
A business that's on the rise.
Oh man, we're
You're hopping, dude.
We're going.
And so I get my haircut at the Ogden Barber Company. Aldine, he's going to be a guest too.
Oh, nice.
He's a self-made kid. He's young. He's building.
Bright kid,
great kid, amazing thinker.
Yeah. Very respectful.
So respectful.
Yep.
Totally in the grind, building himself and building his business from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
When I talk to him, he's like, I know Isaiah. That guy's a big deal in the barber world, right?
Yeah.
And
people say that, and I was like, no, it's my son. He's the one that does. He goes, yeah, but you're the one who's like, no, it's my son. I'm just here.
But then there's your nephew, Joe. I met Joe.
Yep, Taylor Barber.
Yep. He invited me to his grand opening up on the north end.
Uh-huh.
He's got a shop in Roy as well.
Yep.
My point being, there's a network of barbers.
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
In this city. You guys all root for each other.
We should be.
You should be
rooting for each other.
All the ones that I've talked to, all root for each other.
Always. And I think that's in anything. Always root for each other, man. Don't. You know, if your neighbor's advancing or whatever, he's being successful, root for him.
Right?
So what?
Cheer him on. Well, that's a great way to end our conversation. Even though I know there's way more that we can talk about.
Oh man, there's so
and we're
much
going
more.
to. You and I are going to shoot the breeze. That's a close one.
I'll let you take me out to lunch.
I got you, bro. I'll take you to lunch.
Yes.
We always finish our episodes with a call to action. I got 10 of them on my mind right now, but I think that one of the most important things right now that we need to make sure that we do is that we give each other grace. If you're going to have a growth mindset, it means you're going to be stretching and striving and trying to achieve. That's the kind of life you should live. You should feel discomfort, recognize it, and say, I'm not going to hide from it. I'm not going to avoid it. I'm going to lean into it because there's growth. And if you're hungry for growth, you recognize pain and discomfort and stress as something that you want and that you need.
Yep.
And it makes it so much better to feel it that way, right?
Exactly.
I try to, and you have to take frequent reminding. Something's going really wrong or hard. And you're feeling it.
It's hard to focus.
I know, but you got to be thinking, I'm about to have a breakthrough of some kind. So keep going.
Yep.
Right?
Plan A.
And as you're doing that, you're going to make mistakes.
Yep.
That's the fundamental truth.
But it builds character. Those mistakes build you.
Exactly.
They'll build you.
So if you're around others, this is our call to action. Recognize that they're living and they're striving and achieving, stretching themselves. And if they make mistakes, give them grace. Help them recognize the mistake. Help them recover from it. But don't hang them for that one.
Don't be a
thing,
stumbling block for them.
right?
Yeah.
Don't make them think that that's who
it.
they
This
are.
is
Is
it.
just this one little piece. What about everything else? Like if you're living like this, or you know anybody is, love the whole person, not this thing. If you have a disagreement over something, even if it's just a philosophy or a decision or something, you just fundamentally just disagree. That's it.
And that's okay to disagree.
Don't throw the whole person away.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, that's awesome.
If we will do that for each other, we will be better, not just individually, but as a collective of people and therefore as a community of Ogden. And that is a fundamental thing about the Ogden Way.
Love it.
And you, my man, embody everything
Well,
about
I
the
don't know
Ogden
about
Way.
that, but
You do, man.
thank you.
Thanks for being here
No,
today.
thank you. Yeah, it was awesome.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us on the Ogden Way podcast. Thank you for listening, learning, and loving. And let's go support Isaiah Salazar. If you need any truck accessories or anything, local companies,
Anything.
local guy.
One-stop shop.
One-stop shop, baby.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay. Until next time, thanks for being here with us, and let's get out there and serve.